Tomatoes are one of the most widely grown vegetable crops in the world. The first domesticated tomato plants are thought to have been grown by the Aztecs in what is now modern-day Mexico. The life cycle of tomato can be divided into the following growth stages: planting, germination and sprout, vegetative growth, flowering and pollination, fruit development, maturity and harvesting. The duration of each stage can vary depending on the variety of tomato, environmental conditions, growing conditions, and region. In general, the life of a tomato plant lasts about 2 to 3 months from planting to harvesting. Understanding the different stages of the tomato life cycle is essential for achieving optimal yield and quality, as well as for proper crop management. Tomatoes are typically planted in the late spring or early summer, once temperatures have warmed up and stabilized. The exact timing depends on the location and climate. The soil should be well prepared before planting tomato seeds or transplanting tomato seedlings. After seeds planting, the tomato seeds absorb water and nutrients from the soil, and the embryo inside the seed begins to germinate. As the seed grows, the small and oval-shaped cotyledons emerge from the soil, which are the embryonic leaves that provide the initial source of energy for the growing plant. The plant's roots grow downwards into the soil, while the shoot grows upwards towards the surface. The first leaf also begins to grow. The first leaf provides the plant with its first source of energy through photosynthesis, allowing the sprout to grow and develop further into a stem with more leaves. The young plants can be used as seedlings to be transplanted into open field about 6 to 8 weeks after the seeds are planted. Tomato seeds or seedlings can also be planted in greenhouses to extend their growing season. The vegetative growth stage is characterized by the plant's development of leaves, stems, and branches. These leaves have a more complex structure than the cotyledons, and they provide the plant with a greater capacity to photosynthesize. The vegetative growth stage is a crucial period for developing a strong tomato plant structure and maximizing yield during fruit production. Providing the plant with adequate nutrients, water, sunlight, and proper pruning help promote optimal vegetative growth. The vegetative growth stage typically lasts for several weeks, which depends on the climate and growing conditions. Some tomato plants may be supported with sturdy wooden or metal stakes in the ground or with a wire or plastic cage around the plant soon after they are transplanted or after they have grown to a height of about 6 to 8 inches. It's important to start supporting the tomato plants early to prevent them from developing weak stems or becoming too tangled. During this stage, the tomato plant may also develop suckers, which are small branches that grow in between the main stem and the branches. Tomato suckers can draw energy away from the main stems, which potentially reduces the overall growth and productivity of the plant. Suckers can be removed or pruned to promote the growth of larger fruits. It is worth noting that tomato suckers can be transplanted to grow into new tomato plants, but it is not considered to be the most effective way to propagate new plants. Once the tomato plant has reached a certain size, it enters the flowering stage and starts to produce flowers, which typically occurs around 4 to 6 weeks after planting. This stage is a critical period to determine the potential for fruit production. The flowers are usually yellow, and contain both male and female reproductive organs. Pollination occurs when pollen from the male reproductive organ called stamen is transferred to the female reproductive organ called pistil either by wind or by insects such as bees. Once pollination occurs, the fertilized flowers start to produce a small green fruit, which eventually matures into a ripe tomato. The flowering period can last several weeks. Maintaining proper temperature, light, nutrient, and water levels during this stage is essential for healthy growth and development of the plant. The fruit development stage is that the flowers on the tomato plant start to develop into fruits after pollination. It is characterized by significant changes in the tomato fruit's appearance and composition. As the fruit growing, it changes color from green to yellow, pink, or red, depending on the tomato variety. The fruit also increases in size, becoming plump and juicy. The texture of the fruit also changes, becoming softer and tenderer as it ripens. The fruit development stage can last for several weeks, depending on the variety of tomato and the growing conditions. The fruit development stage is a critical period in the life cycle of the plant, as it determines the quality and yield of the crop. As the tomato fruit continues to grow, it eventually reaches maturity with maximum size and flavor, indicating that it is fully ripened and ready for harvest. The timing of fruit maturity also depends on the variety of tomato, climate, and the growing conditions. As the tomato plant continues to grow and reaches senescence, it begins to die back and lose its leaves. The fruit also begins to deteriorate and lose its flavor and nutritional value. The plant no longer produces new fruit, and it eventually withers and dies. In general, tomatoes are harvested by hand or machine when they are firm and fully colored during the summer and fall seasons. Harvesting tomatoes regularly can also help to promote continued fruit production throughout the growing season. However, it is important to check the tomato plants regularly for harvesting ripe fruit, as leaving tomatoes on the vine to senescence stage can cause them to become overripe, mushy, and less flavorful. Except traditional planting the tomatoes in the ground in open field, raised bed and hydroponic systems in greenhouses can also be used as good options and innovative technologies for year-round production or where traditional planting methods are not feasible. The benefits of raised bed and hydroponic systems for growing tomatoes include faster growth, higher yields, reduced water and nutrient use, and improved disease control. However, hydroponic systems also require a higher initial investment, regular maintenance, and monitoring to ensure optimal performance. About 190 million tons of tomato are produced worldwide annually. China is the largest tomato producer in the world. India is the second largest producer. The United States, Turkey, Egypt, and Mexico are also major tomato producers. Tomato is also an important fruit crop in many other countries. Tomato is used to make a variety of delicious healthy dishes and foods. Here are some popular tomato-based dishes. Tomato ketchup is most often used as a condiment to fried or greasy dishes such as French fries and hot dogs. Tomato-based sauce is the popular base of pizza. Tomato-based sauce is also the popular sauce of pasta. Salsa is a Mexican-style dip or sauce made from tomatoes, onions, chili peppers, and other ingredients. Caprese salad is a simple Italian salad made from fresh tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, and basil. Bruschetta is an Italian appetizer made from grilled bread topped with a mixture of chopped tomatoes, garlic, and basil. Gazpacho is a cold Spanish soup made from tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and other vegetables. Raw tomato contains about 90% to 95% water. Tomato is a good source of dietary fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, and potassium. Tomato is also rich in antioxidants and low in calories and fat. For example, Lycopene and Beta-carotene are powerful antioxidant in ripened tomatoes. In summary, tomato is a nutrient-dense fruit vegetable that can provide a range of health benefits as part of a balanced diet.